Next up is InfoSparks. Just want to quickly talk about that one because I think it's a huge, great way to kind of see the market in general, what's been happening in the marketplace. We can customize it. I do have an 1.5-hour class on it because there is a lot of different things that you can do within it that I think are pretty cool, but I just want to show you a few things that I think a lot of people, when they come to class, have not realized that it does. So first, one, it's located in your external links or under your tools as well for you to get into. Otherwise, on every search that you do within Northstar, if you scroll over through your one-line list, it runs one on every single property. So that icon, second to the last on this list, runs an InfoSparks report based on every single property that it is doing. So it's pulling up all of that data surrounding that particular property and giving you some stats right off the bat, which I think is very helpful and very informational, just especially if you're not very familiar with that market. But we are going to go in under the tools and we are going to go into InfoSparks. By default, InfoSparks reflects the Twin Cities metro area. All of the above are some of the things that we can change out within InfoSparks. The defaults we'll talk about here in a second. The bottom is all of the report styles that we can run to give us additional knowledge really about the market and what is happening within the market. So let's start up at the top. The Twin Cities region, which is the 13 county metro region. You can come in here and type in a specific city. Maybe it's a zip code that you're looking for, or a school district, or a neighborhood. Lots of different ways that you can put in a search within here. I'm going to leave it at Twin Cities just for the time being. But how you could use this report would be as if you are going out on a listing appointment and you want to show them what is currently kind of happening in the market in the last closed month. So all of this is reflecting the last closed month just because of things changing on a minute by minute basis through the current month that we are in. So everything truly in here is going to be reflected through the last closed month. And since we are in March, all of these numbers are reflecting through the closed month of February. And we'll talk about that a little bit when we get into the style of the report. So currently we're on all price points. We're on all property types, all construction types, all seller types, all sizes, bedrooms, and then we have waterfront as our last option as well. So do note that some of these are customizable and changeable as well. Way to use this would be is if you know a certain price point that your property happens to be in, you could do the city up here, choose that price point. If it's just a single family home and we don't want to have condos or townhomes in here, you can simply select that single family as well. If we want to eliminate any new construction and we just want previously owned homes, we can select that as well. Also eliminating out any foreclosures or short sales that might be in here. We can eliminate those and just keep all traditional sellers. If you know that your property is within a certain square footage, we could do that. Same with bedrooms as well. I'm going to keep it very basic just so I can continue explaining this report to you, but I wanted to point out a few that I think are very important just to kind of help us get acquainted with or more knowledge as to what is kind of happening out there in the market. So kind of in the middle of your screen, you have your print options and share options. You can share them out on social media. There's about 181 different places that you can share out to social media as well that are already in here, built in for you. So if you already have accounts, you simply would just click on that button and you could share this out to social media. We do have a line graph and we do have a bar graph. The differences between some of those is the look, just appearance-wise. Bar graph might be a little bit easier to read in most cases, but do know that on a bar graph, you can only go back for the last 3 years. On a line graph, you can go back basically to 2005, which is the max. And it's going to show you those prices and our little dips throughout the years and where we are currently at as well. So it's going to show you for a longer period of time than it would on that bar graph. So again, between the bar graph and the line graph, the bar graph, you can only go back 3 years max. On the line graph, you can go back a max, which will bring you back to 2005. I'm going to switch this back over just to the 3 years here, but I do have 12 rolling months, so each data point is 12 months of activity. So if I hover over our little last line here, all of our stats are going to show us through February, which is our last closed month. So what this report is reflecting is that in the Twin Cities, the median sales price, so that is the report that comes as a default, that median sales price for the Twin Cities through February of this year over February of last year, the median sales price is $365,000. It's up 7.4% over last February. So that's how this report is calculated. So if you need to or need to customize it at all, just know that every data point is over last year's amount. So those increases or percentages over here, I think are very helpful just to kind of get an idea of what is currently happening in the market. Another big one that I really do like is the month supply. And that one I tend to pull up frequently as well, as our month supply tends to be growing at this time of year, but then will start to shrink a little bit at this time of year as well. It's amazing to me. I'm not sure, since I do look at this a lot. Even last year in January, our inventory was about 0.5 months of inventory. So what that means is a half a month of inventory if nothing else came on the market right now, and it would take us a half a month to get through everything that was currently for sale. To me, these numbers are big, and it just shows just exactly how that market is going. You can see the biggest dip down here is we did not have very much inventory starting out last year whatsoever. And our market is starting to grow a little bit. We're kind of plateaued here the first part of the year, as we tend to do. So next month, or this month, March, meaning we'll see it in April, those numbers may go down a little bit or they may grow a little bit. But in reality, it's still showing us that our month supply is 1.6 months of inventory. It is up 33% over last year at this time through the close of February last year, which is up a huge percentage compared to where we were, but we're still not at a balanced market. So being able to identify some of this information and use some of this information to tell people exactly what is truly going on out there in our state, our cities, whether it's just even the Twin Cities alone, just helps them get a better understanding of truly what is happening. Us as realtors have certain rules that we need to follow and abide by. So this is going to be the more accurate information than what they might be hearing or reading out there in the media. So I do like to be able to have these reports to show them just exactly what is happening, whether it's the median sales prices or the supply of inventory. Days on market is another big one as well. Our days on market are obviously growing and have grown. So you can do it as the median, which is in the middle of all of them, that the data points that they're taking here. Otherwise, the average is adding up all of the amounts of showings divided by the number of properties that were listed during that given time. That's where we're going to see those differences. So again, just depending on what it is you need to show them, do know that we have a lot of reports in here that will truly reflect where our market is at through that last closed month as well.